I'm gonna start the recording for this one. Cool. So we've reviewed White Mage in the past on my YouTube channel. They're a Zarya player. The main thing that we were looking at last game that they sent me was we want to make sure that they were using their bubbles efficiently. They were using bubbles at kind of needless times. You know, Zarya's only got one real bit of utility here, and it is the bubbles, right? She's a very momentum-based character. When you're playing Zarya, you have to take damage to deal damage, and you have to use it to protect your team for a maximum of 200. Hello, Light Mage. Good to see you in the chat. So Zarya is a very momentum-based character, which means that you have to play this very slowly. And looking at the team comp that you have, this is a fairly slow comp. You have Sim waiting on people to come in. You have Orisa, who's not very mobile. You have Ana, who's not very mobile, right? So kind of a spammy comp, from what I can tell. And you're going to be running into the Goomba Stomp comp, as it's so affectionately named, with the Rhine Winston. They're just going to run on top of you. They don't have any speed boost here. Soldier Genji to take angles. Genji is going to have a lot more mobility, so that's something you have to be worried about. Is Genji going to jump your Ana? And they have a Zen, which you're not going to be able to really get on top of him, per se. So, yeah, things to be mindful of. But let's see how your bubbles have improved since last game. I see we're Star Wars hamming it up in the chat now.
2, 1. Attackers incoming.
And then, again, this is getting recorded, so we'll be on. Alright. Genji is not having a good day. There we go. You got 40 charge to start with. Good. Okay. You could have used bubble there if you wanted to get some charge off of that, right? Prepare for this next fight. I don't want to be too nitpicky about it. Let me just go back and show you what I'm seeing, right? Cool. So you take all the damage. You're stepping in front of shield. You're taking all the damage that he's deflecting back. Right, and then you're starting to do something. So you're already starting to get the momentum before they're even going to rotate. This is good. This is improvement already. Right here, you don't have your bubble because you've just used it. So I would have liked to see you bubble this Ashe. Because I think she just face tanks it, right? So you could have built up even more charge of that, been at 48. And with how bubble works, you know, you would have had it in time for the rotate. They don't have any Lucio as far as you can tell. They're not going to be able to go fast enough for you to do something, or for them to do anything about your lack of bubble. So this is a bubble that would have gotten you charge, and you wouldn't have been punished for it. That bubble doesn't make sense, right? Ryan's not looking at you. He's just used Fire Strike. Nobody's going to kill you. You want bubble for right here, and now you're not going to have it, right? So have a little bit of temperance. Your first bubble was good, and it kind of went downhill from there. That's okay. That was a good read, actually, knowing who the monkey was going to jump. I don't think monkey should have gone there, but you seem to know more than he did, so good on you. He gets punished for that. Good shift, front lining for the shield. Your wrist is going to have a new shield to throw in front, I hope. Yep, good. So now that your wrist has told you pretty much here that you're going to fight in Mega Room, which I don't typically recommend. But you do have the advantage here. They're down monkey. You can definitely press this and win this fight. I don't know why you turn back. Because you have this soldier at half. You have a Ryan hiding out here. Like, you definitely kill the soldier and just end it here. You can right click here. Your wrist is trying to go for a pull, right? Like, what is the reasoning behind pulling back? Right. Like, you know that you want to throw right clicks in there. You're obviously doing the right thing. And your Ana's not even playing, like, high ground. Oh, you're checking to make sure that nobody's flanking? Okay. That's fine. With what they're running, right? You know the monkey's dead, so you know he's not going to be on the flank. You know the soldier's not on the flank because of him being right in front of you. The only one that you have to really be worried about is the Genji, who's now gone Farah. Right? But your Ashe should be the one checking for that, typically. Right? And she is. Right? She just got that one. But now you're not there to absorb the damage for your team, right? Like, I know it's hard saying, you know, what is this? Is like 2K SR? Like, it's hard saying, like, oh yeah, trust your teammates here. But like, in terms of roles and responsibilities, like, that's what your team should be doing. Is your Ashe should be ready for that Farah and watching that, right? You should know that your Ashe is posted up here or here. You should be aware that she's in these positions, because if you do get flanked, right, by like something like monkey, if monkey jumps his Ashe, you need to be ready to respond to that. Or if monkey jumps your Ana, you need to be ready to respond to that, right? Right? Yeah, press this advantage. That bubble doesn't do anything. Right? You have good charge here though. Like this could be a lot better if you had used bubbles a little bit more wisely, but you already see the improvement from the last game. Like already. You're at 65. You're at 65. Picking him off. You're doing a lot here. This guy's purple. You gotta focus him down, right? I know he's mana, but you gotta burn him. Good. Monkey next, good. Right? Again, this is a very momentum-based comp, so you're waiting on them to come back to you. Oh my god, this series got 5k. Some of your bubbles don't go to the intended target, that's why some of them are a bit weird. Yeah, I mean, that's a sensitivity thing. If you change your sensitivity up for the threshold, like, just lab that out a little bit in experimentals with friends, and you should be able to figure it out. I think we talked about that last time, too. Is that, like, something you need to think about? Wow, they're getting bodied. Yeah. So now here's the flank, right? So soldier going to high ground, right? You know the soldier's gonna be right here, right? This is where he's gonna want to go. Like I can almost guarantee he's gonna want to like get either here or like get down here. But then you rotate on him, and you can't do that. Okay, kind of a scary situation that you got into. So you kill the Pharah. I know what happened. Oh, you chase him out, okay. Okay. So good that you start burning the Rhine, right? It's nice that you have this pinch. Let me go back a little. This is good overall. Excuse me. This is good overall because you've set up a nice pinch on this Rhine, right? He's got to deal with the sim. He's got to worry about the Ashe. But if someone were to get jumped right now, are you in a position to help them? Right? Like you can push forward. You can push forward and bubble that Ashe, or you can push forward and bubble that Ana. But one of the things that I'm a little worried about here, when you're so aggressive and your healers are not ready to help you, is that if they decide to turn on you, you die here, like almost guaranteed. Although, well, you got high charge, so like you might be able to fight your way out of the situation, especially because this is just like gold, and this is gold border. Like be aware of like who are you leaving behind, right? Are they in a situation where they won't get jumped? You know, Pharah's dead. Pharah's actually swapped to Reaper now, so like that's one threat out of the mix. But you know, Winston's still on the table. Your Ana's actually probably fine. I don't think they're gonna jump the Orisa sim. So just know that you're a little isolated here. Right. Not inherently bad. Just be aware of it. Hopefully my mic's still working okay.
I'm even stronger. I am the champion.
Good exit kill. Yeah, I mean you're playing this pretty much as intended, right? Like you're playing slow. You're letting them come to you. They're not really coordinated enough to do anything about it. So this comp is a little weird, but you're doing the right things. I did have personal as I was pushing in high charge, so I knew I could get back inside. And, you know, yeah, that's true. So as long as you're ready to escape, that's kind of more important. Yeah, good awareness of the situation, right?
Oh, you look tired.
Okay, they've swapped off trance. Now the one thing that they could really use as a defensive ult for your grab is gone, right? So this is another thing that you need to read as Zarya. Like we talked about mostly your bubbles last time, but now talking about grab a little bit. What do they have, right? They're running Rhine. He's just your Shatter, so they don't have that. They have Primal. They've just swapped to Reaper. They've just swapped off Zen because he kept getting clowned on. So they really don't have a whole lot to work with if you were to grab them, right? So this should open up a lot more options here. Shooting shield, always good. Alright. You see that Reaper, good. Yeah, chase him out. Okay. You should know that he's up there. If your Orisa chases him, she should die here. She's not. Okay. Yeah, you hear him. So you're worried about this guy, right? You didn't push him earlier. And now look at what they've set up on you, right? They're starting to get the angles and a little bit more map control. This strike force is a little weak. Trying to push through Mega Room. I'm not a fan of that. But there's definitely a chance that they jump on top of you in Primal here. This Reaper should be able to get the jump. I think he's expecting Ana to play up here though. But are you aware of this situation enough to help them if something were to happen? Right? Like why didn't? And I'll here. Let me go back a little bit. Right? Why didn't you chase after him here? Right? Especially when you like know your ability. Yeah, you weren't aware of the front line. You're mostly focused on Reaper. So now the things that you need to be responding to, you're not prepared to respond to at all, right? Because you're chasing after this guy, which is like at least you're aware. But like if you had chased up here, right? You could have forced him out, right? You could have gotten this kill and staggered him out, especially if you're saying, "Hey Mercy, I need a pocket," right? Or "Hey Ash, I need you to watch this," right? This is one of those things that like in a scrim or in a team game, I would fully expect you to call this to your team and have someone deal with it. Yeah, you should have expected it, right? Like, you know, I'll check this, right? Like, how could you have expected that he was gonna go up top? I want to look at this situation. So you know he doesn't have Wraith right now, right? So if you go fast, he has no exit condition besides TP, right? Then you hesitate. You didn't see him, but you hear the voice line. You check behind you. You know he's not there. Where else could he be, right? Like, if you've heard it behind you, and you know he's no longer there, where could he be, right? Only other spot would be high ground. Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, that's the only other place he could be. And like, you know that because you're watching the high ground. Why don't you push him while he doesn't have Wraith? Yeah, no, as soon as you heard him, you should know that he's not out. Right. So I'm gonna stop watching this, right? What happens here, right? What just happened in this fight, right? Zarya also does a really good job with flank control and angles, right? And because you're too busy watching this Reaper, I'm gonna go look at this dude. Right? If these guys exit. You are in the back watching for the Reaper. Right? I've got you in my this dude's able to set the flank, right? Because there's no one here to peel or control for it. And it's only because this Ashe has some crazy high awareness, given the tier, that you don't get punished for that, right? Well, the rest of the team still gets in. What happens here? I've got you in my sights. Okay, so Sim tries to deal with this. You bubble her because she needs a way out. Okay. Monkey and Ryan have now jumped on you. This Ana is going to die if she pushes out, right? Your Ana needs help. You've grabbed Monkey. Wait, why'd you throw a grab there? I've got you in my sights. Okay. You bail her out. You use bubble a little preemptively on the tanks, right? Or specifically on Monkey Ryan, right? They're stuck down. I think the person that you should be looking for is possibly Ana here, just to take her out of the fight, right? Because I don't think you're gonna be able to kill the nano. You're definitely not gonna be able to kill a nano primal monkey because that's 1,000 HP at half damage reduction. as good as it is to burn him, right? Your sim is down, and Sim's the one who would be really good for that high DPS, right? So now you're kind of stuck with Ash, who is in the room, right, and Orisa. I would prefer that someone go after that Ana. But now you got Reaper on your back. There's like something to do. That bubble actually ends up getting nothing. Why? Mercy looks like she's in trouble. Yeah, you probably should have focused Reaper directly. You bubble her and she's not even the focus, right? Like Ryan definitely could kill her, but Ryan's swinging on the Sim in the corner. Like Sim's the one who would benefit more because not only would you get damage out of it, like Sim would be able to get a little bit more charge. Mercy can pocket her, right? Like there's a slightly better bubble target there. Because Mercy gets you no charge. It was good intent though, right? Like you're trying to bail out the Mercy in a struggling position. Yeah, you panicked here. Yeah, no, that's valid. And then you back yourself into a corner and they just rush you, right? So I think if you had been set up a little bit more, that would have stopped this push from happening without you being prepared, because you kind of threw your grab at the tanks not being ready for them, right? You panic grabbed and people were dying.
Seconds remaining.
Keep your head and
Objective lost. New defense point. Objective B.
Barrier activated. That's more like it. Enemy contact.
Okay. Power rush set up. You totally lose track of that Reaper. Not great.
Enemy contact.
Getting some chip damage in. You want to build your grab back. Okay. Yeah, you have no idea where that Reaper is the entire time. Okay. If your Sim had gone in, that would have been good. I think it's kind of on her. Yep, good kill.
I know you can do better than that.
Alright, they're down one.
Teleporter online.
Yeah, you don't have to push that. You don't have charge, right? Remember, you have to play for charge because your comp is not built for speed. Your comp is built for sustainability. Yeah, people going up around getting your face is hard to keep track of. Huh. What? Right. You're preparing for your Ash to take pot shots, but from what, right? Like nobody's jumping her, right? You want to use these bubbles at the perfect time, right? You're using them a little preemptively here. You're preparing for something that's not gonna happen. I don't like this because what you've done here. I see what you tried to do here, right? You were trying to bait Ryan into giving you charge. Ryan's not interested in that. He reads the situation. He's like, okay, there's no reason for her to gain charge. She's not doing it, not a lot. You wasted both bubbles expecting damage to come. Yeah, exactly, right? You were expecting the Ash to take damage from a threat that didn't exist, right? Unless like Reaper was teleporting on top of her, or Junk got the jump, or Monkey got the jump, right? So you wasted your team bubble waiting for that to come. And then you wasted your personal bubble waiting for that Ryan to give you damage, right? Because you were trying to charge up. You were trying to play this fight a lot faster than you're meant to play it, and a lot faster than they're prepared to play it either, because they don't really have too much speed in their lineup either. Like they have Reaper who can get on flanks quickly, and they have Monkey who can jump, but like realistically, that they're not gonna bum rush someone. It's hard for them to bum rush someone. So your Ana dies because you don't have bubble ready. And then look at where you are, right? So not only are you down a healer, where are you? Kind of a rock and a hard place, right? Because look at that front. Look at that assault that's coming from the right there. And Sim desperately tries to wall to prevent this from hitting, right? Like look how much damage your team's at. Now they only have Mercy heals, who's popping Valk to try and keep everyone up, right? And look at where you are. Like now that you have bubbles, you're not. Who are you gonna be able to help? And you just kind of like sit here and wait for the end to come, right? So you got greedy. All in all, I think you got greedy because you were trying to farm charge, which is not bad, but you did it way too quickly. Good bubble. Right? Like, and why is that a good bubble? Why is this a good bubble? Why is that a good bubble? Yeah, you knew Bob was going to take the focus there, right? Like you were fully prepared because that's the rational thought process, right? From any team of any elo, right? Bob's on the field, his DPS is super high. We all got to focus him right now, right? Yeah, that makes sense. So you know Bob's gonna take a lot of focus. You're watching him actively get tased down. You know he's probably gonna get some CC. You read this charge, like you hit this Ryan with the soul read pretty much, and you get 40 charge off of it, right? Like perfect. That's how you use bubble, right? You waited for pretty much the last possible moment to hit Bob with it, which happened to be the first moment you saw Bob. I'm not too worried about how that Venn diagram works out, but like, you hit him, you get charged.
Zarya activated.
And now he's out of the fight, whatever. Now you're taking charge, right? Like you know you're taking damage, right? Okay, you're anti. You beat him. You gotta focus Alana. I wanna watch this stuff again. Just watch how your bubbles are paced out way better here. Watch this one more time and then think about how the fight goes out. Yeah. So you end up in this Clash of the Titans moment. So Ryan's gone. He gets a nice fire strike out. And then we've got Winston back there. But if his Ana goes unchecked, it's going to be a little scary, right? Like, Winston does decent damage, but, like, you're going to get hit from behind, and Ana's going to keep the fight going, pretty much, right? I'm a little worried about what happens if she goes unchecked here. Right, you see Tracer, she's about to take damage. Keep your charge up high. Right, Monkey... Oh, Monkey should have died there. Yeah, Reaper's a sniper now, right? What do you have? Yeah, you kind of have the only ult to keep this fight going, but I want to watch that Ana's perspective too.
You're powered up. Get in there.
So she hits a weird nano because this dude's anti. I don't think she was ready for him to be anti. So that's why you win this, is because Ryan got no HP off of your off of the nano boost. So you're able to just burn him down, right? Because you're nano to 80% charge. Like I don't even know the math. Someone in chat, if you can do the math for me, that'd be phenomenal. But you burn him down, right? Like it's that easy. But now look at this Ana, right? She's free to do whatever she wants. Monkey gets out, she can start healing, right? This Tracer finally starts pressuring her, and this is where things get a little bit hairy. Right.
I'm fire.
And now what's the situation? Now that you've died with all that charge, because your healers were dead too. Right now it's panic time. You have to hope that your team stays alive long enough for you to hit a nice grab here.
I am not a good loser. Take cover. Go.
Okay, you were anticipating damage again. Okay, grab. Fine time. You're letting Mercy res off of that. There's no follow through because your team's dead, right? Which again, it is the stall phase. It's only so much you can do, but like, be aware that you don't get any follow through on that because your team has died. Right? And this Ana is still kicking, dude. Ana is still kicking. How is she not dead yet? She's just hanging out behind you guys. Oh, she's out. Okay, good clutch. Right. Okay. I wanna watch this, right? Grab comes out. Your Diva's gone. Your Ashe is able to kind of shoot into it. I don't like this, but she doesn't have dynamite ready. I think she should just be quick scoping. But you give your team enough time to like stabilize off that graph, right? Which works because you just grab as many people as you can, right? Now where are you? All right. You bubble someone who's about to take some damage. Huge. You bubble yourself, right? Stop looking at that monkey. You just saw Moira was at 1. Punish that, right?
This will restore.
Oh, you had to reload off that? Nice, okay. You focused her down. Good. This Reaper's 1 with no Wraith. He should be your next target.
Get in there.
Right. Or Monkey. Yeah, everyone gets very low off of that.
I will lead us to victory.
Good right click. Oh my god, I think you actually get that on out off of that right click. And then you take up that charge. The target priority is terrible here. I think I'm just packing because there's someone close to winning. That's fine, but I would argue that the most important time for you to be focusing on a target is exactly a situation like this, because focusing targets and fitting their numbers as soon as possible is going to be what wins you the fight, right? Because if you split your DPS among 6 team members, like you're definitely not winning that fight, right? But because you use your bubble smart, and because you got a huge grab that let your team set up, you got a lot of charge. This is overextension. I think you're trying to make more use of your bubble than you think, or you're trying to use more of your bubble than I think you realistically have. Now, I hope you don't get killed for this. Okay. Do you see what you did here? Right, this isn't necessarily Zarya specific. I want you to watch this. Right? I'll watch it in third person.
60 seconds remaining.
What's happening here? What's happening here? What was that Moira doing for you? What was happening in those last few seconds? Play it again.
From afar.
60 seconds remaining.
Right there. What was that Moira doing for you? I'll play it one more time. Yeah. Your Moira's making sure that you don't die. Your Moira's got you. Your Moira is actively trying to make sure that you're able to back out of the situation because she knows that you're about to get overrun here. Right? Moira, like, I know Moira players get a bad rap for being brain dead, but it's like, Moira knows that you're gonna take a bunch of damage. She sees this Reaper. She's trying to get you out, right? So get out. But now you go here, right? This is why I said I hope you don't get punished for this. Or I hope you don't die for this, because look at what happens. Look what happens here. If these tanks weren't such shield bots, you 100% would have died in that situation, right? Like, if that Ryan had decided to swing on you, if that Winston had turned around and shot you, you, as one of the highest DPS players on this team, and as the main defensive force, because you're running a diva with this, would have absolutely gotten punished there. Oh, that's effective. Alright. You walk into a bad situation, use your bubble as soon as you get it. Guess what you don't have? Sometimes there's stuff like that right after I'm like, I shouldn't be here and then leave. Yeah, like at least you noticed it, but if you had stayed there in that mini room, like, okay, you got 75 HP and you just lost 400, right? Like, what does that do for you? But more importantly, what happened because you went to mini? That ended right here. Right here.
Barrier activated.
Right here. So right here. What happened because you went into the mini? You were in a position to pressure their front line. That's true. That's definitely one part of it. It's a little simpler than that. Why are you on the ground right now? Right. Let's look at this Ryan. Yeah. Why is this Ryan land shatter on you? I didn't have bubbles since I was trying to get out and I wasted it. Yeah. Your bubble got forced because you made a positional play. And that bubble actually would have mattered here. Right? Like this Ryan's actually playing on a controller. This Ryan's actually playing on a controller. Should die. Yeah. But he still hits that shatter, and that's enough for his team to follow through. Right? Because of how big it is. And think about how far away he had to hit that shatter from, right? That never should have hit you if you had bubble. He gave you like 3 times as much time as necessary to respond to it. Right? But Tire follows through. Reaper's here to punish. Right? That all circles back because your bubble got forced. Right? Alright, Mercy to save the day. Round 2, let's see it.
Better than that.
That was a weird encounter. Yeah. Alright, so you deal all that damage. Again, you bubble Mercy when she doesn't quite need it yet.
I know you can do better than that.
You kinda need this bubble here. Yeah. I figured Reaper's gonna try and clutch. You need your bubble here. Alright. Obviously, when that Junkrat's pressuring you, yeah, you kinda use your bubble there, right? Like it got forced again, but that wasn't because of like something you did. It was because you got rezzed at an inopportune time, right? Actually, your teammates are fine there, but I would have loved to see a bubble there, right? Your team sincerely may clutch this out without you.
10 seconds remaining.
A temporary setback.
I feel like this fight's been going on forever. Again, you're anticipating damage you haven't taken. Good grab. Actually, good grab. Why isn't your team able to follow through on that?
A temporary setback.
Right. So you anticipate damage that you don't have. Right. Warriors winning that 1v1. This is pretty big. Where is your Ashe? Your Ashe is looking at it. She's shooting everybody in the back. She doesn't have dynamite. Your Brink's coming back. You're here, obviously. Tracer's doing that. Warrior's blasting it, right? Everybody's looking at this grab, right? So this bubble's huge. The healers are there, right? But everybody's focused on this grab. This is good. Ultimately, I think this is good. But I think part of the reason why you don't get kills is because you don't have any DPS to you right now. Right? A whole whopping 0 charge. Big old nothing. Alright. Why isn't that rat time? Where are you going? If you had checked to see where this rat landed, you would have 100% killed him. Right? If you had checked where this rat was, you could have polished him off. And you might prevent this tire from killing him. Now you're gonna chase the spawn doors, yeah. You panicked here again, that's fine. It happens, right? It's hard to not panic. I panic in these situations too, right? It's difficult. Yeah, they can. Right.
Round 1 complete.
So your bubbles are definitely better, right? That's the first thing I'll say. Your bubbles have gotten significantly better since the last game.
to 2.
I think you are
Switching sides.
thinking a little too hard about when you're going to take damage, which I know sounds counterintuitive to what we were talking about last time.
Initiating match.
But I'm watching you bubble preemptively, and you're like trying to soul read that you're gonna take 40 damage in that. It's like for whatever reason, when you bubble, you're prepared for like 400 HP's worth of damage to come flying at you all at once, like an anvil being dropped on your head. You're just like you're in the Looney Tunes universe, and you're waiting for an anvil to just drop at you at any moment. So you just randomly bubble. And it's like no, just chill and wait for when damage is going to come, right?
Mean you can keep up with me?
Attackers
But
incoming.
overall, they're getting better because you're getting more value out of them. Like, do you see how you're getting value out of them at least? As opposed to that Blizzard World game that we reviewed.
I can't wait to get into the fight. Okay.
Yeah, the Blizzard World game was terrible. It wasn't entirely your fault though. Like, there's a lot that you could have done different, but there's a lot that your team could have done different too.
Attackers incoming.
All right, so you saw that.
Objective A.
Get in the saddle. Zarya activated.
Okay. So you tried to eat the fire strike, but the deal was there for that. That's unfortunate. Turn back to help your Lucio if necessary. All right, now everybody's there to take the teleporter. So here's some thoughts about this, right? I'm gonna play this slow. All right, so Sim gets trapped. Sim goes to the TP. You have no shield in front of this, right? There's nothing to block this TP from getting destroyed on this front, and it's going directly in, right? What do you think would have been the move here? Not necessarily. If you had to play this TP, what do you think would have been the move here? From there to here. What do you think should have happened? Maybe bubble in front of Sim and TP immediately? Yeah, I think so. Right? I want to see why this TP gets destroyed. Yeah, it's because all the focus fire's coming in right up front. Right? If you had popped bubble and stood right here, not only are you going to eat damage for yourself, you're going to eat damage for the TP that lets your team get in. Right? Now, it's a bold teleporter. I don't necessarily agree with it. Right? I think this was as telegraphed as you could have gotten, like, we're coming for you, right? And they were able to respond to it. But it's something that you could have done, right? You could have farmed some charge off of that if you had your personal ready. You would have let some other people get in through. I also didn't know where it'd be set up there or from where it was. Yeah, I figured that the Sim's not communicating with you, but if you're running Sim, like, you should probably anticipate, like, okay, we're gonna teleport somewhere, right? That's fine.
Get in there.
I like that bubble on the Mercy. Even though you don't get any value out of it, you guarantee this res. You know the specifics? Okay. Then that's something that needs to be communicated. If Sim's your duo, then that's something that definitely needs to be communicated. I like the bubble on the Mercy. I like that that's a habit that you're building now, is you're trying to keep this res safe. Given this circumstance, I would prefer that you were able to bubble the Ashe to get out, right? Because this res doesn't mean anything if Ashe just gets focus fired by 6 people in about a second, right? Also, I wonder if this is going to come into play in a second. Right, so the bubble, well-intentioned, good idea, not the best target given the circumstance, purely of this Mercy being here. But, like, also this rat could have shot her, right? So it's kind of a 50-50, right? I think either of these targets is okay. Mercy to guarantee the res, Ashe to guarantee the escape afterwards, right? Because I'm afraid of this Ashe just getting blasted down in a second. Alright, she gets out, right? How'd you get that guy? She just run down mid. Oh, the soldier feeds now. Yeah, good kill. Like, good focus. And you run the point. So look at this. Suddenly you're on the defensive and they're on the aggression, right? And now they have to do something about you. So this is cool that you flip the point like this, especially when you have such a defensive setup between Sim, Zarya. Ideally, this Ashe wouldn't be there, but maybe she's getting a flank because it doesn't look like that rat's paying attention. So this is not bad. I'm gonna watch him here. Okay, free tick. Free tick because of his position. Nobody sees this Ashe, so Ashe has a angle now. Now you're getting overwhelmed here, right? You need to think about who you need to focus here. Who you need to protect. Actually. I have to walk a little slower. Alright. Thanks for shots in. Why do you bubble that Lucio there? Lucio is probably moving to the safest position in the map right now. Right? Look at the map again. Lots of wasted projector bubbles. Wow. Your Mercy Ashe one was good because at least it was well intentioned and it would have in a higher elo that would have prevented the Mercy from getting killed. But also like you need to think about, okay, is Ashe gonna have an escape here, right? So that bubble wasn't a waste. I would not call that a waste. I think it was the wrong target, but it wasn't a waste, right? But look at how this field is set up, right? Look where Lucio is currently. Alright, now he hits a massive boop. And now he's out, and now you bubble him? Who's threatening him, right? What is gonna hit the Lucio? Is Mercy gonna pull out the 9 on him and go for him? No, she's going for a res, right? This needs to be your primary target, is making sure that this doesn't happen. Your Lucio's totally fine, right? You need to prevent this res, so by the time you see it, it's too late. Alright, Ryan's in your back line. Everybody's focusing him. He was trying to get the Mercy. That's not bad.
They have been revived.
Okay.
Just a scratch.
Your focus is kind of all over the place. Like let's watch this back, right? So bad bubble happens, right? Ryan bumps you, okay? Everybody focuses on Ryan. Everybody's gonna go on Ryan, right? Right? Wrong. You 180. You 180. Now there's no pressure on Ryan, right? This dude who is miles away from his team, no pressure whatsoever, because you're like, oh, there's different targets, right? And then you see that Mercy, right? You don't even see the Mercy, right? You see the soldier that's come back. You're like, okay, soldier's healing. Go for someone else, right? And all this while, you're getting shot in the back by this rat, right? This stinky little rat man. He just keeps popping bullets into you, shoots you around. You're like, oh, the room's right here. But that Ryan's 1 now. Like, oh, I'm gonna focus soldier. Ryan's 1, right? Oh, Ryan's 1. I'm gonna heal Sin. Oh wait, rat's right here. And then you die for it, right? Like your focus kind of goes everywhere, and you're not working with your team to make sure that this is a winnable fight, right? Your beam is doing very little. You're spreading your own DPS out. I think you're like trying to play for grab or something, but it's not achieving what you want, right?
Practice makes perfect.
Go back to normal speed.
Barriers
Okay, those bubbles are okay. You're getting your div out. I'm not sure if I panicked here if I'm used to having enough DPS to kill most targets super quickly. Yeah, you gotta be aware about your DPS, because you haven't gotten any charge off these bubbles in the first fight. You have some charge now. This is good. This is exciting, right? The bubble to get the diva out was good, right? Prevent that DMAC, because you're not gonna be taking a fight anytime soon when she's trying to get out, right? She's trying to get out for a reason, because you're not taking that fight. Again, you're anticipating damage, right? This is okay because you're trying to make moves towards the right, but your team isn't following through. So that's like an example of a body block, but your team just isn't following, right? So there's a miscommunication here between what's happening. You're still getting charge roll. Decent bubble actually. Ooh. Yeah, he's kind of ghost, right? Because you don't have a shield tank here, right? Personal. Alright, let's walk this back. Alright. So nothing's happening fast enough. Once again, you tried to bubble the diva and got something said. But where are you trying to bubble the diva from? Right? I got, well, she doesn't have Matrix. I thought she had Matrix, right? Trying to save the diva from that. I guess she is trapped. Right? But it's like you gotta lose here. You gotta make these decisions quickly. You need to be going somewhere, right? So we keep working. Yeah, some kind of just wins that one. But there's also no pressure on the right. Maybe just get to do something like that. This is a good bubble, but you should not be trying to fight it.
Give me another shot.
Eyes on the bad guys.
Alright, resetting. Do you know where your team's going? Where's the tire? What? Why did the rats tire? Oh, the beat's really good. Okay. So beat works out. He doesn't sync it up with the grav. Right. But more importantly, the bubbles. Okay. So you could have used one if you wanted, you could have used one here to take some damage. If you're planning on just making a wide rotation. You preemptively grab or bubble because you hear the tire, but you haven't seen the tire, right? And because you pop bubble here, he can stall this out as long as he wants. He can just wait for your bubble to drop. Or his beat to go down, right? I think you're preparing it for it to be instant because you hear it, and it's a big scary ult, and that's fine. But like, it doesn't do anything. I don't know what team would bubble, but bubble would have been good when you saw this coming in, right? The Ryan Pain train. Right. I just feel like there's not a whole lot of impact that you're having on this match, and the reason I say that is because you're at 75% and this match is almost over. Right? You haven't even got your first grab, have you? Actually, no, you haven't grabbed, have you? Alright, take some poke. Not this round? Yeah, definitely not this round. Okay, what somebody's doing. Again, it looks like you're just confused here, right?
That's more like it.
Okay, Soldier's hacked, so one. That Junkrat just walks right by you. This is huge, actually. That's pretty big. But it gets no follow through again, right? Why doesn't this get follow through? Well, let's look. I'll watch the other Zarya a little bit too, just to check what's going on. Alright, so you kind of just leave your Moira dry there. Both you and your diva. There's a rat just passing by. Start shooting your back line, right? Your Ashe is not in a position to follow through. Your Moira is dead. Your diva's looking for the rat, right? So you're the only one shooting this grab. So as media as this is, there's no follow through, right? Nobody's gonna be able to do anything about this. There's no ults to combo with. It does nothing, right? I hate to say it does nothing, right? If we go back to the other grab from this dude. Why does this work, right? Like, why is this Zarya so high charge? Actually, let's watch this Zarya for a little bit. I want to watch this Zarya for a tiny bit.
This will heal you.
Right? So Zarya's got a whole lot of charge from the last fight. That bubble's just to keep her junk alive. She's trying to wipe the burn away. She's got damage, so she's going for extra poke. I want to see what happens this next fight, right? So because she was fighting at max charge and you're taking this next fight, she has momentum, right? Because she's the Zarya that lived. She has momentum here.
Come here and get stabilized.
She knows that you're about to try and pressure them, right? You're just doing poke damage. She takes that, she eats it, people keep shooting it. She's at 100 pretty much here, right? Right, notice how she hasn't even used her... When was the last projected bubble? The last projected bubble she used was on that rat, and that was a while ago, right? So watch her projections.
Come here and get stabilized.
Look at how she uses this. Right? She doesn't just throw them out because she's building up the charge on her own. She waits for her Ryan to be in and taking damage, right? In order to keep him in the fight and keep this going. I know everyone's blue here, so it's a little confusing. But now that her team's in, she just gets out. Like, she would rather get out than waste a bubble that she didn't really do. And she ends up not needing it. She could have used it though, right? And then this next fight, she's gonna have grab, right? And she's just poking at you. She's just spamming you out. Right? People keep shooting her. She steps in front of Ryan's shield to take damage, right? She knows that the fight isn't ready to start while she's doing the poke because of just like, you know, are you going to really run and jump up here? No. You're gonna have to go right or left, right? And it's gonna take some time. So she knows that she's in a safe position to use that bubble early, if only to poke damage, because now you're pushing. She has 4 seconds, right? When you're in that room, she has 3 seconds to get that bubble back, right? She's not in any danger here. She does this. The beat's good. The tire kind of stinks, right? She doesn't even bubble that Ryan until right now. When a Bob gets thrown out, right? And things are happening. I don't know why she just takes that. It's kind of silly, actually. She just isn't aware of that. So, like, she's making mistakes, too. But... I can sometimes play like this, but not in the games I lose. I think some of it is just consistency on how well I play, although I probably shouldn't play today. I just want to play at my best. That's fine, right? Part of practicing is building up your skill level to a point where you can consistently keep playing at your best, right? Like you can't just play and only expect good days. That's not going to happen, right? And that's not anything against you. That's just life, right? So it's a matter of pushing yourself so that you can sometimes play like that Zarya becomes your baseline, right? Like the reason why we practice is that when you're playing like that Zarya was just there, you've built up enough skill that that's the minimum, right? And that's still okay.
60 seconds.
It's all about growth, right?
That's more like it.
So we already went with this. Right. Grab this guy stinks because he's gonna follow through, so that's a wasteful. You weren't ready. It's a situational awareness thing. I like what you're doing to Zarya. Oh, that's a good hack. Yeah, Zarya was way too far forward, and she wasn't paying attention. Right, look at this. This is good target fire. You're trying to pressure this Rhine out, and then you notice that the Zarya is way too far forward to get help. And you just track her down. Plus, this hack means that she can't use the bubble, which does she have it? Wow, she does, and then she's not able to use it. So that sucks for the Zarya. Zarya was not playing carefully enough, she got cocky. And that's a huge pick. Unfortunate. Versus gonna res you. Nice. 2% average energy for like a minute. LOL, it was just terrible. Yeah, I mean, those days happen. She just destroyed the tire. That was awesome. Nice. I mean, you did a good job there, right? Like, it's recognizing what makes a good day and what makes a bad day. Bubble doesn't absorb from damage orbs, by the way. Okay, you are too far forward here. You wind up too far forward. I think you are ready. I don't know what's happening with this Ash. This Ash is like on Twitter or something. Overextending again, not really surprised TBH. It happens, right? But also, it's not necessarily just overextended because here you're not overextended, right? You're playing with your team. Back out. Here's where you overextend because your team is retreating. They're set up to push, and not only that, you're cutting yourself off from the escape route. You're cutting yourself off from the healers, right? Because you try to take this angle on the monkey, which like okay, taking angle's good, right? But here the angles are covered, right? You have to recognize that because the Ryan can just move here, that angle's covered. Monkey put himself into a corner. There's not much you can do about that, and then your Moira pops Cole, I think, to try and save you because now she's gonna look for you, right? No, she's giving up on you actually. Right. So Ryan chases you out. Ryan overextends there. I don't know how you get out. Right. Okay. Just, God, this is such a weird fight. Right. Trying for damage you are taking. Oh, chase that Ryan. Actually, this guy's more important.
I claim this objective. Stand with me. This will improve your now see what I can do.
Okay, wait. You just did the thing, right? You just did the thing we were talking about in the very first fight, right?
I claim this objective. Stand with me. This will improve your condition. Now see what
Bubbling
I can
Baby
do.
Diva says she can guarantee you getting into mech.
Go.
It's actually huge.
Ready for battle.
That was actually really good. I like that bubble. Focus on Mercy. Focus on Mercy. She's hacked. She's definitely killable. Yep, stay on her. Okay. Your tracking isn't bad. It could use some work, but like everyone can tackle skill can. Grab the rat. He's dangerous. Drop below. Oh, kill this soldier. Oh, he thought. Oh, he's so sad. Oh, he's so sad. Rat gets killed. Okay. Right. Obviously, I think we both really like that grab to be bigger, but that's okay. This fight's gone long enough. I'm risking it again. Okay. Where did your personal go before this? Punch. Right. Kind of a wasted personal. Not the worst, but you're being pocketed. The Ryan's not swinging on you. It's a mercy, right? As soon as you see this dude, you should be looking to get out of LS because you don't have any way to protect yourself. You just challenge him right away. Yeah. But you get 2 ticks out? Did you get the second tick? No. Maybe? Did you get 2 ticks? No. Oh, you're just shy. This is really good stall from them. Force some ults out there. Yeah.
Now see what I can do. Pass this forth. Ready for battle. This is my will.
Funny right click, strike again. Okay, check for the team. Good.
Enemies on my radar.
The personal, man. It comes down to the same thing, right, with Zarya? You're now thinking too much about could I be taking damage? You're not thinking about like, oh, I am taking damage, right? You're like, okay, cool. I could get fire strike right here.
Enemies on my radar.
He's not gonna do that. He's not gonna do that till your bubbles down. Oh my god, what a clutch EMP. Ooh, that was nasty. You actually would have lost if not for that EMP. That was massive by your Sombra. Oh my gosh, you missed out. Yep, keep him in the cage. Alright, never mind. That was planned, that was really good. That was really good that she caught the Ryan in time too. But now the focus is all falling apart and they've got respawns. Alright, let's watch this back a little slower. Okay. Alright, so your personal's gone. And we'll think about other times to use it. So if not for that EMP, you could have read that shatter. But I'm ecstatic that she canceled that shatter because that was just like good for the clip. The focus here is good, right? You and this Moira are covering the right people.
Give me your best shot.
Alright, you're not able to do anything here. That bubble on Sombra is bad. I think you're probably going for someone else there. You take the damage. Yeah, Rat gets some kills. So I think I wanna watch this bubble back. I wanna watch this team bubble back. Specifically. Looking at your team's HP pool, nobody really needs anything here. Because the only thing they're gonna have to deal with is Monkey, and Monkey's not gonna be able to focus down 4 of them at once, right? I think you could have saved this bubble here.
Get in there. Bring it.
Especially for someone like Moira who's just coming out of Fade. And getting challenged by Junkrat. Right? Or caring for her support. I think that bubble would have done way more on anyone besides Sombra. I don't mind this grab as much. What I would have liked is for you to hold here. Do you know why? Looking at this situation, do you know why I would prefer for you to be right here? Cover. That's one thing. What's another reason that this would have been really good? Support from team? Yeah, not just that. What else? Let's watch you again. Maybe it'll make more sense when I see this. Yeah, right here. Okay. The Ryan doesn't do it, but what is the reason? You can't think of the word? So what I'm looking for here specifically is crossfire, right? Like this Ryan's kind of panicking. He's pretty confused actually. Yeah. Yeah, you're setting up an angle with that Bob, right? You can't, you know, area 51, they can't stop all of us, right? So Bob's here pressuring this Ryan. Ryan's got to worry about him. Ryan has to shield Bob in this situation, right? Now he's getting shot in the back. He's like, oh, Bob's shooting me. He's like, wait, no, Zarya shooting me in the back. Wait, no, Bob's shooting me, right? If you are here, you kill this Mercy because Ryan's probably going to shield this Bob, or Mercy gets killed by Bob, right? The two of you are taking different angles. He can't stop both of you, and the bubble is deployed, right? But when you walk right here, you just end up sandwiched, right? And this Moira just kills you. This Moira kills you, and Monkey gets you accidentally. Now, you know, your healers are down. You're not surviving that fight. That's a tall order to ask, but your odds go up significantly when you're setting up those kinds of crossfires.
This will heal you. A temporary setback.
Navigating.
10 seconds
Our
remaining.
time runs short. We must increase our efforts.
We're just going ball to stall here. Yeah, I'm not even really comment on this. So, major takeaways from this VOD review. Zarya bubbles are getting better, right? You're using them at more opportune times, more regularly. The tracking's pretty good. You're getting things done. The grabs are definitely getting a lot of targets. The main things that I'm seeing are knowing what is a threatening situation, and knowing what is a situation that you can follow through on, right? So I think now that you've got bubbles somewhat down, the major thing I want you to think about is situational awareness, right? Who is going to take it, right? Like guaranteed. Don't do these random, the Looney Tune anvil bubbles. That's what I'm gonna call them, right? Of the, oh well, this anvil might drop on my head, right? It's like you're living in fear, right? You're living in fear, and you're like, oh, I might take damage. I'm gonna bubble now, and then it doesn't do anything, right? Or oh, my team might take damage now. It's like, okay, they're not. Stop thinking about the what ifs and think about the actually in the moment they're about to take damage bubble, right? If you look at Zarya's like decay, right? There's a lot of, you have 200 HP of disposable health called shield. Yeah, I mean obviously you don't want to turbo feed, right? Because as soon as you think that you're okay, you're gonna like probably get melted. But what's the word? Right, your situational awareness needs to be built up because of two things, right? Number one is you don't know when to be bubbling at the best times, right? And so I would recommend watching VOD reviews of people like Decay who bubble at the absolute last second. There's I'm sure you can find a lot of different reviews from different pros about Decay. And the other thing I want you to think about, besides when to bubble, is can people follow through on my grab, right? I don't think any of your grabs, besides maybe like one of the first ones, got a whole lot of value out of it. Even though they were big, if you were asking yourself like, oh well, why isn't anyone dying to this grab, right? It's like, okay, let's look, right? Like this is the one I want to look at specifically, right?
60 seconds remaining.
All right, Ash gone. Sombra's not gonna do a whole lot of damage. Or Ash comes back here, I think. Right, Moira's gone. Ash comes back, right? Nobody's ready to follow through on this, right? The situational awareness of, are my DPS ready to take action is nil, right? Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows what they're supposed to do about this situation. So like this is not a great grab as big as it is. It's a big grab, but it's not a good grab because it's not something that people are going to be able to follow through on, and you are not in a position to be taking this on your own, right? It's not bad to grab and finish off a target that is going to be a threat. Like you'll see Zarya's solo grab nano blading Genjis all the time just to burn off the nano and to keep them away from everyone else, right? Like you'll see stuff like that. Not every grab needs to be a 6-person grab, but every grab needs to have some sort of follow through, right? Yeah, grabbing nano blade's super fun. That's just like I've ruined a DPS player's day today, like chef's kiss. Yeah, but does Zal make sense, LightMage? Right. So again, it's your bubbles are getting better, right? I want to start off with that. Like they have gotten better since that last game we reviewed. Work on your awareness about when people are going to take damage, and work on your awareness about when people are going to be able to follow through on your grab. Less mechanics, more chess. Yeah, I mean, you can always do with more mechanics, right? There's never a time where mechanics are bad, in my opinion. It doesn't hurt to have mechanics, but I want you to think about the chess of it a little bit more, right? If I do this now, am I going to get value out of it, right? Again, Zarya has that slow momentum-based style, and I think you're pushing it a little bit too far, right? But for what you need to focus on, yeah, I think you need to focus on using your bubbles a little bit more wisely. Like your mechanics aren't bad. You've got some shaky aim, but it's also gold. Like I'm not gonna rag on you for mechanics and gold, right? Because your tracking is decent, but you gotta like focus on these targets to make the tracking work, right? Like you need to think about, who do I need to take out? Who do I need to be looking out for, right? Because this entire game, you haven't even had someone with a defensive ult to stop you from doing these grabs, right? Like these grabs have been pretty much free. And it's just something that the other team knows that they're gonna have to live with, right? Just thinking more about like, because they don't have anything defensive, is my team gonna be able to follow through, right? Because this is pretty much a fight winner. Grab is pretty much a fight winner in this situation, as long as you have the team to follow through on it. So that's it for this VOD review. I'm gonna call this one here. But yeah, hopefully you learned something from this one.